Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm here this afternoon to discuss our work towards addressing the national debt and staving off a collision with our debt ceiling or a default on our financial obligations. First, I'd like to commend Majority Leader Reid for putting forward a proposal which would make a very serious $2.4 trillion down payment on deficit reduction and, most importantly, end the impasse over the debt ceiling. I encourage my Republican colleagues to support it or offer some reasonable changes that would allow them to support it. But let me also address some developments on the other side of the Capitol, where an extremist group of House Republicans are continuing their my way or the highway, what President Lincoln called rule or ruin approach to these negotiations. Amazingly, news reports indicate that Pell Grants may be put on the chopping block in Speaker Boehner's latest effort to appease the most extreme members of his party. Mr. President, this is getting ridiculous. Rhode Island's great Senator Claiborne Pell first proposed the grants that now bear his name. He envisioned a grant that would enable low-income students to attend our country's wonderful colleges and universities so that they too could share in the American dream. Why do these far-right extremists in the House want to snuff that out? In 1976, the first year that Pell Grants were fully funded, a full Pell Grant paid 72% of the cost of attendance at a typical four-year public college. Today, a full Pell Grant covers just 34% of those costs. And even that, they're willing to attack. This vital assistance from Pell Grants can often mean the difference between being able to attend college or not. With many families in Rhode Island and across America still struggling in this struggling economy, we should be looking for ways to strengthen Pell Grants, not weaken them. America needs more college graduates, not fewer. During my time in the Senate, we've taken steps to improve the Pell Grant program. After 4 years of level funding under President Bush, we began to increase the maximum grant from $4,050 in academic year 2006-07 to $5,550 for this coming academic year. We also increased the minimum family income that automatically qualifies a student for the maximum Pell Grant, a change which better reflects today's economic realities. Despite the clear need for continued investment in our future through Pell Grants, a need that has long had bipartisan support and backing, a group of House Republicans this year began an outright assault on Pell Grant funding. These grants are needed more than ever, as the economic downturn has led more people to seek higher education in an effort to find a job. But not to this band of extremists. The House Republican budget would have slashed Pell Grants, reducing the average award by $1,775 and cutting off more than 1.3 million Americans, including nearly 5,800 students in Rhode Island. I understand the need to find savings in the federal budget and to make difficult choices. And Leader Reid's proposal offers up $2.4 trillion worth. But we could also make bad choices in going about this. And of all the bad choices we could make, cutting Pell Grants is among the worst. America needs a highly trained workforce, and Pell Grants help make the promise of a college education a reality. After America spoke out and the Senate defeated the extreme House Republican budget, I hope that the assault on the Pell Grant was behind us, at least for a while. Yesterday, however, The Hill, a newspaper here in Washington, reported that some Republican House members are opposing Speaker Boehner's debt ceiling increase bill over funding it provides for Pell Grants. In this article, someone called Pell Grants welfare. Some welfare, helping kids afford college and pursue their dreams. Today, there's talk that cuts to Pell Grants are being discussed as the pound of flesh required by the most far-right members of the Speaker's caucus as the price of supporting his bill. Remember that these House Republicans continue to protect every tax giveaway to special interests, every one, while they want to cut off access to college for regular kids. The simple fact is this: Pell Grants help lower-income people achieve the dream of college and improve those young people's prospects for careers and employment. It's good for them, and it's good for America. The Pell Grant program doesn't give a free ride, but it does give a boost up, and it's a wise investment in the future of our country, a future where the fates of nations will depend on the educations of their people. Earlier this week, student and education advocacy organizations, including the Education Trust, Campus Progress, the National Council of La Raza, and the United States Student Association joined together to save Pell. I applaud their advocacy and commitment to fighting for Pell Grants, and I am proud to join their effort. I strongly urge the far-right extremists who are pulling their party and the House of Representatives and this country over the cliff to end their reckless attack on the American middle class. Take the victory you've been offered and stop the damage. Ronald Reagan, in 8 years, I believe, raised the debt ceiling 18 times. The Tea Party has been here 6 months and has put the country on the brink of default, days away. Instead, I ask my colleagues to work with Democrats on a bipartisan solution that does not attack the fundamental underpinnings of a successful middle class, like Medicare, like Social Security, like Pell Grants. Avert the looming debt ceiling collision and reduce our deficits. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.